Hey, 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 everybody. We are about to be live with D and M military stories. And this goes all the way back 20 years, two battle buddies, reconnect. And we're going to talk about our stories. We're going to talk about the initial process and then going into reception. And then the next episode, you'll hear more. But we're going to talk about that and some Army Corps values because we're both Army. Shout out to all our Army members. And I'm going to bring my bestie, my battle for life. Hey D.
Hey, everybody, whoever's watching.
D, you want to go ahead and give them a quick big intro about you and some background?
Sure, Mo. I am obviously an Army veteran, combat Army veteran. I spent 6 years in the Army Reserves. I actually got activated for 9/11. I took part in support of OIF/OEF1. I was an 88 Mike. If you all know, that's basically a truck driver. So I did 88 Mike work and 88 November work when I was deployed, which is a military traffic management coordinator. So also in my civilian life, currently I work with veterans. I'm still serving other veterans, and I actually work with individuals that are part of the criminal justice system, and they have a drug and alcohol problem. So I feel very passionate to be able to still continue to serve my former brothers and sisters in arms. So that's just a little bit about me. Thanks, Mo.
Oh man, and I want to let these people see this sexy picture of you right there serving in the military. Oh man, and this is a picture of us back in the day with our crazy selves back in the day, with our bunks and stuff. Young and just young and innocent back in the day, right? So my name is Mo, and I served in the United States Army. And I was in the 9th Theater Support Command. We did readiness support to get soldiers ready to go to deploy. And it was a great experience. And, it's nothing like serving in the military. You go with your ups and downs and stuff, but we still continue to serve. And, my friend Dee, she told me about the program, about being a mentor and serving fellow veterans that are on the criminal justice system. And, we continue to support and help them through their transition. I also do some transitional mentoring through Veterati. And also I've done some transitional helping at Dog Tag and some other programs. And I also do some consulting at the DC Mayor's Office of Veterans Affairs. But enough of all that other crap. Let's get to the good stuff, okay? Let's get to the good stuff. The good stuff is these stories, right? Shout out to everybody that served. It doesn't matter what capacity you serve. I don't care if you were a cook. I don't care if you cleaned bathroom. At the end of the day, you were part of the mission, and we needed all of you in order to complete the mission and get it done. All right. So, you want to get started and talk about what was your experience though, sis? Like when you first, you signed the dotted line, you went to MEPS and all of that stuff. And then the whole road from getting that flight, getting into that dark bus, and then getting to reception. Tell your story.
Thanks, sis. Well, I wanted, I'll just start off by this. I initially, I really wanted to do something bigger than myself. I really wanted that challenge. So that's partially why I decided I wanted to, serve my country. But so, none of us know really what we're doing when we sign that dotted line. We're like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. That's the way I was. Okay. And I was like, I didn't know what the hell I was getting myself into, but I said, screw it, let's go. So basically, I got my orders, they got cut, I knew that I was going to be going to Fort Leonard Wood, also known as
Fort Lost in the Woods.
Yeah. I thought, oh wow, this might be freaking nice, but we'll get to that later. So, I will admit, I was like, when that time come, I was all excited and pumped up, and then then when the day came, I'm like, well, I'm getting ready to leave. I'm going to go to basic training. Um, I kind of hit me like, okay, what am I going to get myself into now? This is this going to be like Hollywood? You know how or what? You know, like, yeah, well, more to come. Yeah. So I get on the flight. Dun, dun, dun. So I get on the flight and fly into Lambert International Airport. I believe that's in St. Louis, Missouri. And nothing of it. You know, we're still treated. They're still treating us really nice. Really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Woo, like, this ain't shit. This ain't no damn army. So then I get to the, you know, Fort Leonard Wood, the base, and they put us in these old barracks. I think they were like World War II barracks. You know, the smells were like, I don't know, like old cardboard boxes of library books that haven't been opened up for ages. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, whatever, you know? So they're like teaching us how to make a bed, and they're all nice about it. I'm like, oh wow, what is this like what kind of camp is this? You know?
Oh my God.
You know, and so, but they weren't. This is when it comes. I thought, okay, you know, something's about to happen. Well, they have these things called cattle trucks. Now, mind you, if you guys know what a cattle truck is, it's like where freaking animals are put in. And I thought, what the hell? You're gonna put me in a cattle truck? What am I, a damn animal? Boo, boo. I mean, what? You know?
But that's episode 2. They not even ready for the cattle truck.
Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah. Sorry. Well, let me just tell you. Well, when we get to reception, which is just basically, you know, the introduction of the great 9 weeks that you're about to spend, you think that it's okay, but you know, at the same time, it's like, all right, you get your uniforms issued to you. Okay.
They feed you real good. They soften you up, you know, make you watch Full Metal Jacket. Why? Why do they do that? Why do they make you watch?
Like, what do you think? You're gonna pump my soul up? Be all you can be. I don't know. But you know, I'm like, okay, cool.
Did you think you were gonna get beaten by like soap and stuff?
Like, like fucking soap on a rope and shit. Excuse my language, but you know, I had all these impressions, so I'm like, ooh, I get some tennis shoes. Ooh, Asics. Ooh, that's nice.
Everyone had Asics.
Then you know, hey, come here. They don't call you by any names. You're a nobody, really. But you're a soldier, but you're a nobody. You're not a female. You're not a male. You're just a soldier. Come here, soldier.
Exactly.
Here you go. Exactly. Now you're standing in a freaking line, and they take these old, I don't even know, like these old guns, shotguns, like for your arms, and they like boom, 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 give me all these vaccinations. They're like, hey, don't be gentle. That's okay. I've got blood dripping down my arm. I don't know what the hell you're vaccinated with, but it is okay because I'm going to probably turn out to be a science experiment with all this shit in my body. I mean, I don't know.
Oh my God! It's like a freaking assembly line. So they got us all lined up, and we're in an assembly line. I don't know what year these guns are that they're shooting us with. We're all dripping with blood, and you're looking at, you're kind of horrified, like, dude, you're bleeding. Like,
like, no, it's all right. Go next. Have another one.
Oh, tell them about the shot they shoot you in the butt and tell us to march and stuff.
Okay. So, the peanut butter shot. Ooh. And I swear, I know that sounds odd to say peanut butter, but you know, the consistency of peanut butter is extremely thick, you know?
Exactly.
And when they shoot it in your bum and they have to press it, like they have to press it hard because it's so thick to come out. And I swear to God, as that thickness is coming out into my bum, it's like this weird feeling in my bum. It's like, oh my God, that thickness is just going down my bum. I can't, that's the best way to know that I can explain to you my experience. I don't know how that on your bum, how it made you feel, but man, it made me feel like, ooh, that's kind of an odd tingly feeling. I don't know.
they're like, March, it's gonna burn. I'm like, the marching doesn't do anything.
Or how about drink that water?
I know.
Water is a cure-all for anything. You sprained your ankle.
Drink water, Pride. Drink water.
You know, it's like, okay, like water does not cure everything. Yeah, water is a beverage, but it ain't gonna cure my oh, you're pissed, drink water. Okay. All right. Or hey, let me ask you, my host. Here's the thing. Tell me your experiences with BCGs, and let's let everybody know what BCG stands for.
Birth control glasses, man. These freaking glasses, man. You're not getting no booty, none of that. You had these glasses on, and I'll show you what they look like because I ended up finding them again, right?
No,
these things are terrible. Look at them. Look at them. You weren't getting any booty with these things. Were like, I don't know, microfiber. I don't know. They were so thick, man. You weren't getting no. Now back in the day, they were thick and black, right? They were black. I think our era, we got those, and then remember. Okay, so we had the dress greens back in the day, right? When we came in, they had the dress greens, and we had, what did they call them? They called them the pussycut hat or something.
Pins cutters.
Yeah.
I looked like with my Class A's on, I felt like a flight attendant. You know, I'm like, would you like some peanuts? How about I have a cup of Coca-Cola? I mean, like, what? Bitch, I am not no flight attendant. I am a United States Army soldier, but I look like a flight attendant.
When we got those, I realized that McDonald's had the same hats back in the day. Oh my God!
I'm just saying, like, you know,
those were the and it's funny because, and you know, can you remember we had pay phones, man?
Right,
pay phones, calling our parents like, what did we sign up to?
Like, it's like they sit there and like breathe down your neck. You got 5 minutes, and I swear, I'm like, that wasn't 5 minutes. I'm like, it barely was a 1 minute. I'm like, you know, so it's like, you know, pay phones, like little things like that, or even like just, they tried to tell me that when they tested my eyes that I needed those BCGs. And let me tell you what, I was like, of course. I said, okay. And they stamped it on my medical stuff. But do you think I wore those mother efforts? Absolutely not. I'm getting caught. And I'm glad, because they're like, well, you need to wear them when you go to the range. I'm like, okay. They must have forgot. Thank you, Jesus, because I didn't put them on. I threw those son of a, you know, where in the damn garbage can. I'm like, I am not getting caught. And don't take my picture with one of those things and post it anywhere.
Oh my God. They couldn't even break. They were so thick. You can roll them over and they wouldn't even break. BC.
I know. I'm like,
oh my God. These were the glasses. If you didn't see, these are the glasses, these terrible glasses that they gave us back in the day. Oh my God. Okay, so if you were in the military, you know, they made you watch, well, at least in the Army, they made us watch Full Metal Jacket. That was like so terrible, traumatizing, because you're like, okay, am I going to get beat with soap? And am I going to commit to, like, all kinds of crazy stuff was in Full Metal Jacket, right?
Right.
Then after that, they feed us real good, and then if you're too overweight, where do they send you, sis?
Fat camp. Yeah, you got to go to fat camp. Like, it's like, okay, like, I feel like, all right, you know, I mean, when you join the service, you know, they take you through MEPS anyways, you know, you get exactly. I mean, even if you look like you're bigger, they'll still take you, because you're, you know, muscle weighs more than fat, right?
Exactly.
So they might say, hey, look, you got to lose some weight, but it might be muscle, you know what I mean? Because muscle does way more than fat, but you get recycled, you're going to go to fat camp unless you're broke.
Yeah, exactly. You go to fat camp, and I'm telling you, I don't even know people that even made it out of fat camp, honestly. Like, I don't even know, like, you know, so those people that went in fat camp, you know, salute to you if you made it through to the next round. But so you weren't able to go directly into the actual basic training full session. You had to go to fat camp, pass fat camp, then you would get sent fully to basic, right? So then they would feed us good, because, you know, we're kind of in the South, right? Missouri's like considered the South, right? Is that
Midwest or something?
Midwest or something like that? So like we were out there, they fed us real good and stuff, fatten us up. Dude, I remember the first time they asked us to do like not I think we did KP or something, and they had me like, I thought it was in movies. They literally had me washing like the floors with like a toothbrush. I was like so pissed. And I hated peeling potatoes, dude. Like I was over that. I was over it.
But guess what? Like when people like, with KP experience that I did was this one guy, I don't know if you remember when we were in basic, he decided he was going to go on KP duty and steal some Fig Newtons. Like, what? Fig Newtons, like, we weren't allowed to have any fat cakes or any sugar. Exactly. So this guy thought he'd be cool and steal some Fig Newtons for himself. And guess what? I thought it was funny because we went to the chow hall to go eat. He had to stand in the chow hall looking at this duck picture saying, quack, quack, I'm be a duck. Quack, quack, I'm be a duck, in front of everybody. And you can't laugh. You cannot laugh because, they're basically, then you're going to get it too.
You're going to get it. I mean, and like I said, it's definitely crazy over there. When you're a reception, because reception is almost like a facade. It doesn't fully prepare you for the encounters in episode 2 of actually getting in the cattle cut truck and landing. And then not only that, remember, sis, you come in there with, like, some people came with a rack of stuff. You need to send all, I ended up sending half of my stuff.
You're back on the block.
You're back on the block.
Get back on the block, soldier. Like, I want to say, you know what? What do you mean, Nuka's on the block? But I can't. Because I'm like,
you got the right stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it's just funny how some of the lingo that you start to learn in reception, like, because they're starting to try to change you from your civilian way of thinking into the military mindset,
Exactly.
And when you get on that cattle truck, you shut your mouth.
Exactly.
You don't say anything, but here's where it comes down, and you're like, okay, this is about to get hot. When you're riding a cattle truck, you feel kind of funky anyways, because you're a nothing. That's what they break you down to nothing, like you're a nobody.
They break you down and then they build you up. And the other crazy part is that they gave us this little allowance card that was hardly basically nothing. You felt excited. You thought you were getting a little bit of money. It was like, dude, if I know what I know now, I would have just like saved all that stuff for what? So it's like people get into the military for so many different reasons, right? Some people go in there for school. Some people just go there to escape. But, the training we wouldn't take back. Like I said, in the next session, we'll talk about the cattle truck and going in there. But I also want to talk about, remember that pre-PT that we have to do before we get over there? And you had to do like, how many push-ups did we have to do? Like 5 or something?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this ain't nothing. Ooh, 5 push-ups. I got this. And like run a mile. I think we ran a mile and like you had to do like 5 push-ups or 3 or something. Because women have different PT standards according to the Army than the men did.
Exactly. And we did that, and I swear, and I used to run and all that stuff before going. But the end of that, at last run, and you like pour water on your face. You're like, I never knew how good water was.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, just to do it, just to make yourself feel better because you're so hot. But when it sucked is when they said you're gonna force hydrate yourself, drink water, and you drink so much damn water that. Oh, you didn't drink it, and they tell you to put it over top of your head, your canteen, and then that's when they know that you were just messing around, and then it pours all over top of you because you're so sick and tired of drinking fucking water.
Yeah, the water is like. Right. But there was some people that like it got crazy for them when they started realizing like when we got in. So the first time when you get into reception, they all warming you up. Then you get into like, oh, you really got, this is like what we're going to experience going over there, but not the full deal, right? People are like, push me off the bed. I want to hurt myself so I can get out of here. And all kinds of crazy stuff. Like people wanted to get hurt because they wanted to get out. Like they didn't know what they signed up for. And the wildest story, sis, that, we went to a reception. I saw this guy, his eyes were red as hell, right? They were so red. And I'm like, what happened to you? He was like, I remember seeing him when we first came in. He went to one of the first cycles. He came back. He said, he went and I think the drill sergeant threw his either his rucksack or duffel bag out the window. So he decided to throw another duffel bag out the window just like the drill sergeant. And he said they thought he was mentally crazy and they took him to the psych ward. and they put him on drugs. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, like, I'm not doing nothing unless they tell me to do it. I was like freaked
Like
out.
they were setting the example though for everybody else. Hey, you want to act like that? Then this is what's going to happen to you. That's why they do that.
Exactly. It was not a game. That's why a lot of people, and shout out to all the sororities and fraternities. I was like, look, I love y'all guys, but if I went through the Army, that's enough fraternity sorority for me, man. I'm like that's it, and then let's talk about, Army core values, right? As we're in our new journey in our lives and stuff, I'm gonna throw a couple of pictures, that's me, and that's D, and just, as we go through our journey, these Army core values, what do they mean to us? Loyalty, duty, respect, selfless, honor, integrity, personal courage. Like, these are a lot of things that, even though we don't sometimes think about it, but we take this is ingrained in us, in our lives, and some of the best practices that we use, whether we're in business or when we encounter people. So D, what is one of the, or a couple of them that you took with you in your regular life?
Well, really, I'm really big, on, respect. I really think that's huge. Not saying that people that's never served doesn't understand what respect means. Everybody does. Mm-hmm. I really feel like it's, I can't stand the littlest things irk me. You know what I mean? Like, some people just don't have respect. And I think that's one of the utmost important values to have in general, because you would want to be treated the way others should be treated. You should treat people the way you want to be treated, like the golden rule, right? I mean, that, I think respect gets you a lot of places in life. You know what I mean? And if you don't have respect, then what do you have? You know what I mean? So, and I think that, being in the military, learning that respect as respecting more of an authoritative figure, okay? Whether it's somebody of higher rank of me, per se, or even in the civilian world, I know that we have different bosses in our life, but I really look at my bosses and like, wow, some of them, like, it's all about like how they treat me. I don't care what your rank is. I do not care like what your position is. You treat everybody the same, regardless of rank or in the civilian world position. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. We all come from somewhere.
Exactly. I think one of the things that I took with me getting out the military, and me and you talk about this all the time, is like loyalty. Like, it's not the same game, and I think that's one thing that we do miss, being in the military, is that, our brothers and sisterhood is based on loyalty. This is somebody that, served with me, or if they didn't serve, you just kind of have that unknown trust of that person because they served in the military to some type of capacity. And we miss that sometimes when you transition to, the civilian side, and you're like, wow, like, these people really don't have my back, you're like,
or can I piggyback off that? Yeah. Like, I really feel like loyalty is for me too, because like, I really try to stand behind people, you know what I mean? As much as I can without being taken advantage of. How about that? And I think with the value of loyalty that I feel inside of me, like, I've maybe stood a little bit too long at the wrong time, the wrong places for people. You get what I'm saying in a sense? But that's my nature. Like, you know what? If I say I'm going to do it, guess what? Unless I'm in the hospital, something happened to me, I'm going to do it. I stand behind my word. And that's part of loyalty too. You know what I mean? That builds trust, that builds a bond. Exactly. And a lot of people, I'm not saying anybody in general, but there's people that they bullshit. I'm sorry for maybe cussing on the line here, but it's the truth. I mean, oh, I'm gonna do this. Oh, yeah, you're bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. Like,
it's the follow through. Like, we're trying to follow through. Like, keep your word. Like, we're from we're from the old school, and if anybody that's military, follow through. keep your word. And if you can't keep it, you know what I'm saying, just say it, you know, be honest
Right,
with
just be honest. Be like straight up. I don't want to do that. I don't even know why I said it. Like, because you can't lead people in a direction because it's a leadership. I mean, everything that we're talking about here, as far as the Army core values, all of them, they all connect somewhere. You know,
it.
whether you're on the battlefield, whether you're serving peacetime, whether you're out of the service and you're in the workforce, they all somewhere go together. You know what I mean? Respect, you know, integrity, loyalty, that right there, those three values in general, they go together.
Exactly. And I think another one that selfless service, we're always serving. I think it's embedded in us as being service members to serve, serving a purpose bigger than ourselves. So you'll find a lot of veterans, you know, volunteering into different programs or mentoring or being counselors or different things like that, or creating nonprofits to serve veterans because it's in their nature. You know, we're here to serve. I'll tell me and Dee talked about this offline. She said if stuff hit the fan and they called us veterans, we would be like Avengers Assemble. We'd be ready to go. We'd be like, we'd be ready to go. Avengers Assemble. Like, where's it at? Where's the problem? I don't care if you're like 90 or 100 years old. You'll be in your wheelchair talking about, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's get it. You know, it's just in it. That's that loyalty. That's that, you know, we're here, you know, and personal courage, you know, standing up and showing up when sometimes, you know, people might not have your back or stand behind you in it, but you know what's right. So you having that personal courage to stand in your purpose means so much to me as we go through our journey, and you know, respect, like, you know, and duty to our country, duty to ourselves, duty to our families. You know, there's so many different parts, and having integrity, like do good business, do the right thing, even do the right thing when people aren't looking, you know.
Right. And I remember, you know, a few things just to kind of what triggered something with me, like to piggyback off what you're saying, and you know, do the right thing even when no one's watching. They always would tell us that. Always, because I'll tell you something, there's always somebody watching. Somewhere down the line, there's always somebody. And why not knowing if you do the right thing, guess what? You don't have to worry about, oh, am I going to get caught? Oh, I have a guilty conscience. Oh, I don't want to feel that. I mean, you know what I mean? So just tell the truth if it means it hurts somebody's feelings, unfortunately. I mean, you don't want to, but why? Why not? Why be that person? You know what I mean? And also another thing to kind of piggyback off everything that we're talking about, you know, that resonates with me is like the fact that I would never ask you to do something that I wouldn't do myself. That is huge. I don't know if it's for you, but it is for me. You know, it's like contradicting. Well, I want you to do that. I mean, this is military speaking, what I learned. I mean, spirit world too, it could be applicable in the work, in the line of work. But I'm not going to ask you, Mo, to do something for me that I'm not going to have your back and do it for you. That could be applicable to any situation, whether it's in the military life, in combat zone, or in peacetime, or in the workforce, right?
Exactly. And that's real talk. Like, you know, like we've learned so much from our experiences, and you know, if you want to go back and remember who you are, like go back to the Army core values and see how that applies to your life, and see, you know, because sometimes, you know, it didn't really hit us at first, you know, but when you're looking now in your journey, you're like, wow, you know, this is a lot of, you know, speaks to me in my journey in life, you know. So having integrity, you know, business ethics, you know, being ethical instead of being unethical, you know, that's part of integrity, you know. You know, all these different things, and, you know, respecting people. And a lot of people, you know, found their way of growing up and becoming a woman or becoming a man through the military. There's some people that didn't know how to wash their clothes, or didn't know how to, you know, cook food, or they didn't know how to just survive, just basic survival skills. And they learned a lot from the military. So, you know, there's some bits and pieces, you know, we have our ups and downs with the military, but we're telling our personal stories of what we dealt with. That's the whole purpose of that. You know, after 20 years, you know, 20 years, you know, two battle buddies connecting, you know, we were so goofy.
And guess what? We
Yeah.
still are.
We
But
still
it's amazing. But see, here the thing is, though, it's so amazing because I really have a lot of gratitude for, Mo, and I know she does for me, and I value her, and I know that she values me, and not that I don't have like the civilian friends, like where they understand me and I understand them. Certain things they don't understand, they don't, and certain things they do, right? That's with anything. However, I always know that my military buddies, battle buddies, there's a different type of bond that we all have. I'm sorry. It's different than civilian friendships. I mean, I know that sounds maybe kind of, I don't know, help me out with the word. What would be a good word for that? What would you think? Like
you mean like I don't even know if this is even right. Is it like what cliche? I don't know. Like
maybe, yeah,
yeah,
maybe,
yeah,
but like it's a different bond that we have. I mean, come
yeah.
on. We lost touch for how many years, and then you found me. And it's like we never left, we left off where we left off before. I mean it's a different bond that I think veterans have with one another. I think veterans speak a different language in a sense, you
I
know.
I think I can piggyback with you. I feel you on that because like one thing with battle buddies is like almost it's like you sign like it's almost like they say blood brothers or blood sisters. Is even though we didn't share specific blood, but it's like we share blood. We served together. We went through training together, and even if you didn't serve together, it's just the fact that you served is like there's a bond. And I always have some type of empathy when it comes to service members because you didn't have to do it, but you chose to.
Right.
During our time, it wasn't the draft, but during our time, it's the time when you volunteered to serve your country, right? So my thing was like, 20 years later, it's like it was like we just talked the other day, right? So I call her and I'm like, I had to look twice. So I'm searching on Facebook and I looked through old pictures. I'm like, I wonder what Dee is doing. And then she changed her hair because her hair used to be like super long down her back. And then she cut her hair. So I was like, I had to look twice. And it was her. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder if she even remembers me. And it was like boom, like a spark. It's like those battle buddies, you never forget them. Now you might forget a name here and there because we got PTSD and we forget stuff, but we never forget a face. We never forget a face, and that connection, I can't even. It's priceless. It's somebody, and that's what that loyalty. Like, if Dee needs something, I'm going to be there. If she needs to speak, and somebody just listen, I'm going to be there, and I know she'll do the same, vice versa for me. We could be far apart. We might not talk for a month, but when we talk, it's like it was just like yesterday. And that's one bond that you can't find from a lot of people. And we can say certain words like "good night," or we say "good night,"
Oh my stars!
oh my stars, or front leaning rest position move, and you're down there. Like so. There's just certain things we can laugh and chuckle about that some people just won't get. And it's a military thing, but at the same time, we do love our allies, the people that want to know and want to understand, what we go through and how we connect, and they want to connect with us, and we do have a different language and we do have a different bond. But I think that if you do have a battle buddy, look for them, find them. You never know. You guys can definitely create something or do something different. I found her, she found me, and we're here and we're doing stuff and we work together as providing and still serving our fellow veterans so they can excel to where they need to be. So and I know you have a wonderful quote, sis, to tell the people with opportunities and connections and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Just to kind of saying what she was saying, like in helping and serving and in being and finding your successes in life. Because here's the thing, I feel like this personally. I mean, any when there's little opportunities that rise upon us, you never doubt the bigger opportunities that leads towards your successes. Because every little piece in your life, whether it's been 5 years ago, 10 years ago, every experience, every challenge that you went through, adversities or hardships that you went through, or whatever, positive moments too, or anything, they lead you up to where you're going. And everybody has their own definition of success, but I think it starts with you and the little things that you can find that make you happy, and to never doubt that, you create your own success. and it starts with you, but you also bridge to want to be able to be bigger than what you are.
Definitely. And D, I love that. It does sound like your mic went in and out when you were saying all that amazing stuff. It was like, because I can hear you right now, but it's like it was like it went in. Did you tap anything on the
No,
microphone?
I haven't touched the thing.
Yeah, it just changed. Like the audio just changed just now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else had heard, but basically, a long story short is, always, never doubt something that's little. That's you can't have success in your life. Everybody has success, and everybody their successes might be small, but that might make them happy. And the little things that you do for yourself every day, and to reach your goals will lead towards a bigger success in your life and what makes you happy, what makes you succeeding for yourself. But I also believe that serving others is extremely important, because why shouldn't we help other people?
Exactly.
Why? I mean, veterans or not, like, why wouldn't you want to make the world a better place, regardless of what has gone on this past year or whatnot? That's where my heart is. I like to see people succeed. I like to see people be challenged, so they go through some of the hardships to come out on top. Because look at some of the people. I mean, look at Oprah Winfrey.
Now you sound real clear. Whatever you did, you sound super clear.
I didn't do anything.
Oh yeah, yeah. This sounds.
Some of the most famous people came from nothing, right?
Yeah.
And they went through it, and now are successful. And success isn't always how much money you have in your bank account.
Yeah. Exactly.
Success is what is to be successful in your life to make you happy. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Success is what you choose. And, to me, serving other people is my passion. And, seeing other people I want to inspire people. You know what I mean? I want to be the change. You know what I mean? You got to do the change. You got to be the change to do the change.
Exactly. So. Exactly. Definitely leading by example.
Yeah.
And that quote that you said was just like so powerful, take advantage of the small opportunities, because you never know, they'll lead to big ones and stuff like that, but for those that didn't get, to hear that, and because we're going to take snippets of that, so we can, I want you to say that quote again for the people so they can hear it one more time.
Okay. When little opportunities rise upon us, never doubt the bigger opportunities that leads towards your success.
Exactly. And that's powerful right there. Like, don't sleep on anything. You're one person away from your blessing. And, these stories, hopefully, they make you laugh, hopefully, you take something away from it, and know you're not alone. You have your battle buddies out here, whether they're in different countries or different states. Battle buddy is always a battle buddy. I can tell you that. And even though sometimes, we, because of, our PTSD or different things or traumas, we think that, sometimes people aren't loyal. But one thing I can say is that all of the battle buddies that I've reached out to, we've able to connect, and share and stories. And sometimes connecting with your battle buddy helps you remember some of the things that you do and understand some of your service and stuff. So I'm grateful to you, sis, for real.
And Mo, I can't be ever, I am much grateful to you, and I'm inspired by you. You know what I mean? You're an amazing person. And I've seen you back in the day rocking at, Fort Leonard Wood, us cutting up a rug, and, now look where we're at, you know what I mean? And I think you're a beautiful person inside and out. And I think you do wonderful things, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. You want me to cry right now, don't you? Right?
No.
I just want to tell you, I love you, sis. You're a beautiful person. And, thank you for connecting me with the program. It's amazing as we serve, and, you're a blessing. And hopefully, some people take some of this stuff, and apply. If you haven't applied, even if you didn't serve in the military, you can take some of these Army core values and apply them to your life, So this is us, D and Mo, Army Stories. Next episode, we'll talk about the cattle truck. So peace out, everybody. Peace out, everybody. We love you. And if you served, remember, you're not alone, and your service matters, no matter how big or small. I think they're all big, because you all served a part in the mission. All right. Peace.
Peace.